this presentation, this training is for English only. It will not be translated to any other languages. For those of you that are Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, etc., we've done all those trainings already, and you can find them online. So Dan, are you super ready? Are you excited?
Joey, I am ready, and really ready. I can't
You're
wait.
getting better looking as you get older.
I'm trying to keep up with you, brother. Yeah.
For those of you who are here for the first time, just a little brief background on NHT. We're now moving into, we're in our 22nd year. NHT has done close to $3 billion in sales. And we've got some great news where most companies globally since the pandemic has been cutting down the countries and slowing their operations globally. NHT is continuing to expand as we're launching into the beautiful country of Colombia. We're probably right now 98% there, Dano.
99.
Like within the next 90 days, for sure this year, we're going to be launching officially in Colombia. For those of you who have Colombian contacts, your team has Colombian contacts, you find people online, this is a time now that you need to spread the word that a multi-billion-dollar e-commerce innovative platform is launching in Colombia. And there's only one time, Dan, that we launch into one country. Here in the next quarter also, guys, we're going to be launching a brand new technology hub here within NHT Global that will include brand new AI technology, and we'll be able to, at a click of a mouse, keep up to the new future demands of technology. And this will be centered around all mobile technology. So we're going to be introducing a brand new app as part of this rollout. You're going to have a complete new back office that has access to more tools that you'll be able to use to grow your business, that will have access to better technology. For example, you'll be able to do things in looking at your organization volume in more depth compared to what we have now. So I'm really, Dan, excited about this new technology. It's been something that's been working on for the last 5 years. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not cheap. NHT Global's invested well into the 7 figures to launch this moving forward. So, Dan, you've got an incredible training here, incredible talk. I would recommend, guys, from a learning perspective, when I got started in the industry, one of the great things that I did is I took great notes. And I attended everything. One of my philosophies is that if I was really in love with my dream, if I really was hungry for my success, I knew I needed to attend everything, anything and everything. Because I felt then that if I just missed one little training or one little meeting, that I was telling my universe that I wasn't that hungry. And I may miss a defining moment in my training development if I miss something, which would slow me down to get the results that I wanted to become successful. So Dan, I know this training is going to be a defining moment for many people. Take some great notes, review them. This is being recorded, so you're going to be able to come back to it next week and share it with many more people. So Dan, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, Joey, thank you. This is interesting. It's the first training that you and I have done, that we've done, I don't know in how long, that is just straight English, as we have just done, as you were sharing with everyone, multiple calls and talks over the last 10 days here in so many other languages with translation. So this is our first one, and actually the last one that we've got that is going to be just speaking to you, talking to all of you, just in English, as they say, and I've always said, Mr. Cano can speak 3 languages, English, Canadian, and American. So I am going to be speaking to you in English, Canadian, and American here today. Joey, again, I just want to make sure, can you hear me okay, and you can see me all right?
Yeah, you're great, Dano.
Thanks, buddy. Great. Okay, this is going to be, they're all important calls. They're all impactful calls. They're all great calls. And it's when I'm saying that, and that in particular, it is really just echoing what Joey had shared with you, how important it was in his early days, as it was for myself, as it still is today, that for you to remain a leader, you need to remain a student. You need to continue to learn, to grow. And I've always believed the three G's are the most important path towards success, and that's gratitude, growth, and giving. And in terms of the growth, it doesn't matter where you are in the business today. If you're just getting started, and today's call is really for brand new people as well as the leaders that we have on the call, the great, great leadership that we have on this call. And that's really the reason why we're here today, why all of us are here today. And probably, I think, Joe, we've got maybe 30 plus markets, different countries that are represented today that are English speaking. I don't know how many we've done over the last 10 days, as we were sharing with you, that are in, from all the Spanish speaking countries and markets. We certainly did the Japanese this morning, but we did Russia last weekend, and Tuesday we did Russia. So there was many Russian speaking countries and that market that was on there as well. But bottom line, Joe and I are not here. NHD Global is not here if it isn't for you, the leadership that we have on this call, and some of the finest leadership that we have, not just in NHD, but the finest leadership that we have. Joe and I believe this deeply, is on this call today. And, I'm talking to India. Sarfraz is on here today with his great leadership in Zabina. We wouldn't be in North America today if it wasn't for Andreas. All of Europe started with the vision of the great Garth. And, it went from Garth to Thomas, to Dalibor to Sonia, to Helen, to Cindy Stoa. We have got so many incredible leaders that are on this call here today. So it is for our leadership, because the things that I wanted to impart with you, as Joe will a little bit later on, is it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, how critically important it is. And the one point that I wanted to talk about, you probably saw this, and really just, on the banner, and we're talking about the big picture and how important it is to never, ever forget how big this is of what you have, how big this opportunity is, how big our industry is, how powerful our company is, the leverage that we have from this company, this industry, the leadership that you have around you, the support that you have around you, the opportunity that you have in front of you, the products that you have to get out to people. And still 99% of people that you speak to in your market have never heard of us and have never tried our products. They've never had our products, never heard of our products, never been on our products, and have never heard about our opportunity or business. 99% in every one of the markets that you're in now, even though we have done $3 billion in sales. We've been around 22 years. We have accomplished everything that we've done, and still 99% of the world has never heard of us. It's more than that when you get outside of where we are. So when that brand new person, because I remember my lights really went on. Garcia says the same thing. Joey does the same thing. Is when you, and Garth, I'm talking to you, remember when you saw it too for the first time. Dal, when you really saw the bigger picture. Sarfraz, when you saw the bigger picture. When you really saw how big this was. When you got started in this profession. When you got started here with NHD Global. When you saw how big this was and is today, that is when the lights went on. Now, the biggest thing that this does for you, if you're brand new, because I'm talking to you brand new, and why I'm saying it's so important for the person that's in this journey, that's been with us for years, you will have your tough days. You will have your challenging days. You'll have those times, say, oh, my, they're complaining about this. Something happened here. There's always something. But there's always a reason not to, but don't ever forget the big reason to do this business and never forget how big the opportunity is. So I never take for granted what I've got. And it wasn't until I saw the bigger picture that it affected this. So when I talk about the big picture, at its very core, it's affecting belief. And that brand new person will not take action until two things. Two things. Number one, that they believe that there's an opportunity here for them, that there's a huge opportunity here for them. Number two, the most important, and Garcia is going to talk about this, Joey will be talking about this, is they got to believe that they can do it. So when I got started in this industry 35 plus years ago, in 1988, living with my parents on government assistance, broke, sick, unemployed, wife left me, life was below zero. I was down so low, I had to look up to see bottom. I was below zero. Hell, I had my self-esteem. I had no self-image. I had no self-worth. But when I went out to my first opportunity meeting and then my big event, which was really about 4 days later, and I saw the big picture, I was able to touch, see, feel people that I could relate to, connect to. And then when I saw that, one, that there was the opportunity. Oh my God, there is an opportunity here, short term, long term, especially to get out of where I was. And I had to get out of where I was fast. I was down deep. I had to get out of there. So when I saw how big this was, one, I knew there was an opportunity. But number two, when I connected with these other people that didn't have the sales background that I had, I saw every walk of life, especially non-professionals. And I had a professional background in terms of business. I saw all of these people living the dreams, achieving the goals, having the life and the lifestyle that I only saw on TV. I didn't even read, well, I wasn't reading books back then. That changed, and that's the big thing that Joey's going to talk about. But I had no idea how big this opportunity was. So you, as a leader, you, if you're brand new, for your lights to really be on and for you to take action, it's the bigger picture. And in those challenging days, for you leaders that are on the call here today, and you're not out there taking action, maybe you're flatlined a bit. You need to reconnect. You need to give birth again to what's happening in here and where we are and how big this is, because this is bigger than India. This is bigger than Europe. This is bigger than the United States and Canada. This is bigger than the Far East. It's the entire planet. We, 22 years ago, when Joey and I started this deal, I was the first distributor. Joey was the second. We partnered up. We got started in this thing when there was no product. Well, we had one product, and it wasn't even a man's product. As you know, it was Allura. It was under another name. We only had one website that didn't work. We were in one country. We had no global ambassadors. Everything was breaking down. We had every possible challenge that you could possibly have in any type of a business in that first year, every day. But our vision was bigger. Our dream was bigger. What we wanted was bigger than the challenges and the issues that we encountered every day. So if you're sitting on the couch today and you're wondering when is somebody going to show up and sign up and come in at platinum, no, you got to go out and chase it. But look long term to what you have. If you want to have what Garth has got, what Thomas has got, what so many of our leaders have got, those guys are getting paid on business and customers they brought into this opportunity 13, 14, 15 years ago. They're getting paid on it still today. If you know someone, and think about it, 99% of everybody that's out there would like to have a luxury car. 99% of the people that are out there would like to have a luxury home. 99% of the people that are out there today would like to put their kids and their grandkids through some of the private schools, finest private schools that we've got in North America. How many people do you know? That 99% of the people you know would like to go on an exotic trip to Machu Picchu for you in the United States and North America, to Paris if you're in India, to Madeiras if you're in Europe, which is in Africa. 99% of the people that you know out there would love to have an exotic trip, an exotic car, a luxury home. And so many of them would like to have financial freedom. and would like to work for themselves. 99% of the people. And if they don't want any of that, maybe you want to check their pulse. 100% of the people I know that try our products love our products. So, two things. One, the products work. That is a guaranteed, a given. 3 billion is not an accident. That's because we did this by design and the products work. Number two is 99% of the people that you talk to out there want to have exactly what we got, what we have to offer, and they've never heard about us. It's a given. So the biggest thing is you got to get off the couch. That's if you've been there for a while. If you're brand new, you've got lots to look forward to. So when I got started, and for all of you that got started in the very beginning, you know what happened when the lights went on. You know what happened when you got to see the bigger picture. It is important, two things, that your brand new person sees the bigger picture, how big this is, as fast as you possibly can. Number two, if you are flatlining in your business right now, take a look in the mirror. Two things. One, the opportunity is huge. You've got everything here. But tied in with number two is that you need to take action. You need to be the one to go out and lead. Share the product, share the business, talk about the opportunity, get the product out. And one of the best things that you can do is take a look at the mirror again. If you've been here a while, and again, the business is a little bit slow or whatever, how many people have you spoke to in the last 3 days, 4 days, 5 days about the opportunity? How many product presentations have you made? Remember, this is a volunteer army that we have in developing our teams and our organizations. I've always believed inspiration is so, so important versus intimidation. And that's why, when you come from corporate, in that corporate America world where I came from for 10 years, intimidation was the factor in motivating somebody. You don't go to work, you get fired. Here, you got to be inspired, and that's got to come from within. And that is you and what you have in front of you. So don't ever forget how big this thing is that we have a hold of. And if you care enough about your future, your family's future, your family's future, this is one of the things that Joey and I just loved about what we have, is that this is a legacy that you can develop and you can build over time, not overnight, but over time, that you can pass down to your kids and your grandkids. Joey's got kids. He's going to have grandkids. He's going to have lots of grandkids and grandkids. They will all benefit from this legacy and the things that Garcia has done here for the last 22 years. He will be able to pass that down to his family. My wife and I, we don't have kids, but we've got lots of nieces and nephews. And boy, do they love us. Yeah. So we're their most favorite aunt and uncle. And we certainly have a lot of fun in talking to them about their future and what we can do to help them from a legacy standpoint. So, Joey, just to look in terms of time here, gang, I'm talking to you as a friend, as a family. And so many of you have become some of my best friends in the world are on this call here today. So you're not just business partners, you're friends, your family. Garcia and I go back. Joey, I guess you'll share that with them. I don't know how many years. It's well over 30. As Joe says, we've been together longer than so many marriages that are out there, especially here in North America. But the great Garth and I, we go back, I actually even longer than Joe and I. Thomas, we've known each other a long, long time. So many of the leaders that we have on this call here today, we've been together a long, long time. We are going to be together a long, long, long time. Our future is incredible. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget the bigger picture. I talk to you as a partner, as a friend, as a family member. Love you all. Joey, I'd like you to take it from here and wrap her up, buddy. So over to you. Ciao, ciao, everybody.
Hey, Dan, can you be my Uncle Dan too?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you can. You can do that.
So I have to stay in line, right? I have to get in line.
You're you're lined up very well right now.
So I'm just behind Marius and Darius, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are two nephews, by the way, for everyone, Marius and Darius.
Good
Yep.
to know. I'm going to work harder to be in that circle.
Okay, Joe, we've got some people. I think I see some other people getting on here. So I know we got a lot of people online.
Right. Well, super job, Dano. Super job.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Joe.
Well, guys, this is a great segue into what I wanted to talk about here. And again, please take some notes as I'm going to run through this through my personal experience. One of the biggest challenges, if not the biggest challenge, in when I work with someone, and I know around the globe and the people that we have here online and that will be listening to this in the future, is a lack of self-belief, the lack of self-esteem, and the negative self-talk that we as human beings consistently beat ourselves up with. And that all comes from the programming. I was no different. When I got started in this industry, June 23rd, 1993, on a scale of 1 to 10, swear to God, guys, I was probably a minus 10, maybe a minus 100. I knew that I struggled with self-esteem and self-confidence. I knew that I needed to grow my self-esteem and confidence in order for me to get the long-term results in my life, in my business. Thank God I had a vision, I had a dream that was greater and stronger and bigger than my self-esteem at the time and my confidence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the simple rituals that I did every single day, starting back 30 years ago, that dramatically increased my self-confidence, my self-esteem, and allowed me to qualify for these big incentive trips around the globe and eventually qualify for global ambassador here within NH2 Global. And frankly, I've been living the MLM dream for many years now, as most of you know. So the first thing that one needs to have, okay, is you need to be aware that you struggle with self-esteem. So be honest with yourself right now. Do you have a thought or have thoughts that come into your mind that says, can I really do this? Do you struggle with this question? Whether you've been involved in 2 years with NHT, you just got started, or you've been involved in 10 years, do you still struggle with that question? Can I really do this? Can I qualify for a global ambassador? Can I move up in rank? Can I reach my goals and dreams? So you need to be frank with yourself. If you have those thoughts, and again, definition of insanity, if you keep on thinking the same thing and the same actions, you're going to get the same results. You need to change. So this is why I'm going to be sharing with you the rituals that I've done that have proven in my life 100% to work and to get the results that I've had all these years later on a consistent basis. So the first thing is you need to have a vision. You've heard me say this 1,000 times. I'm going to say it another 1,000 times, another million times. Without a vision, you will perish. Without a vision, you will quit the business. Without a vision, the business will be too hard for you. Without a vision, you'll feel like a failure. Without a vision, disappointments will take you out of the business. Without a vision, you'll never be able to grow your team to where you want to go. So write this down, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get what you want in life, you get what you deserve. In the process of becoming what you deserve is you need to have a vision for yourself. You need to have clarity on why you're doing this business, what your purpose is in life, because your programming that you've had up until now from your environment, from your friends and family, your church, your religions, etc., will always hold you back. So keep in mind that all your beliefs that you have right now, majority of them were not what you chose for yourself. Majority of them came to you through programming. You did not choose it. You were programmed to act in that certain way. So have an awareness that you need to have a vision And that all this program you can overcome by having a vision. When you fall in love with your dream, your fears go away. Will have no chance in your life. Your worries will have no chance in your life. Your disappointments will have no chance in your life. Your distractions will have no chance in your life. Second thing, after the vision, now this comes to my daily rituals. So please keep in mind, if you want giant leaps in your life, it's those daily rituals that you do every day that eventually have the giant leaps. It's the daily rituals and the disciplines to do them on a daily basis, not once a week, not once a month, not when you feel like it, not once a year. It's those daily disciplines, those daily rituals. So every single day, I start my day 1 hour a day to feed my mind with prosperity and abundance. Early this morning, we got up early this morning to do the training over in Japan. After the training, I went to work out. Guess what I was listening to? A prosperity and abundance podcast. I'm doing that every single day. Why do I need to do that? Well, Jesus Christ, for example, tells you, in the parable of the farmer, when you plant good seeds and you're not watering it every day and yet pulling the weeds out every day, he didn't say every week or once a month, every single day, the weeds will take control. Our mind is a garden, ladies and gentlemen. You got to treat it like a garden. You got to pull the weeds, the toxic people around you, the toxic information that you're being bombarded with. You need to combat that with prosperity, abundance, and hope. So what I've done every single day, an hour a day, I'm feeding my mind where the garden becomes, and I'm working on it every single day, not once a week, not once a month. It's a ritual I do every single day. I don't even think about it now. It's part of my daily routine. Second thing that I've done to increase my self-esteem, I don't do it once a week. I don't do it once a month. I don't do it once a year. I'm doing it daily. I'm sharing my affirmations every single day. Our self-talk makes a difference. Our words make a difference. We have thousands and thousands of thoughts every single day. Most of them are habitual thoughts from our programming, from our past. So in order to combat those thoughts, you need to be proactive in your thinking. You need to be proactive in your affirmations. All affirmations is the prayers to God, to the universe. So every single day I'm sharing affirmations. I am great. I'm fantastic. I'm getting younger every day. Money is attracted to me like a magnet. I'm sharing these affirmations on a daily basis. 30 years ago, I found this affirmation from Tom Hopkins, who was at that time the #1 sales trainer in the world. I hung it up in my shower. I read it every day in my shower. Years later, I don't even have to read it. It's memorized into my subconscious mind. I will win. Why? I'll tell you why. Because faith, courage, and enthusiasm. Today I'll meet the right people, the right time, at the right place for betterment all. I seek opportunity in every challenge. I'm terrific at remembering names. When I fail, I look what I did right, not what I did wrong. I clearly have defined goals. I'm a winner. I'm a believer and my contributor. I believe in me. So I say that multiple times daily. I'm consistently sharing affirmations all day long. When I find I'm getting negative in my thinking, I change it around with my affirmations. Think about when you do that daily, every single day. Over the last number of years I've been doing this, how much has my confidence improved? How much has my self-esteem improved? Not overnight, but over time, because I'm just saying the right words to myself, feeding my garden. So these seeds harvest with incredible prosperity and abundance. Third thing I do, on a daily basis is I visualize my vision. I see myself where I want to be 10 years, 20 years from now. I've been doing this for years. If you go and just type in visualization on the internet, there's thousands of studies now on how powerful visualization is. You need to have a vision for yourself. So every single day, at the same time, every day, I'm envisioning my dream. I see it very clearly, like I've already achieved it. 30 years ago, some of you have already seen this. This is my character of a high school friend who did this for me back 30 years ago. Probably the best gift I've ever had. He did that, out of love. He sent it to me when he knew I got involved in this business. And that vision I've had on my desk all these years later, it helped me so much because public speaking was my worst fear. I saw someone like Dan Cano who was just like came out of the womb public speaking, doing a great job on stage. And that allowed me to envision where my life was going to be like. And now I've spoken to rooms of 20,000 people and guided all over the world because I had a vision that I was visualizing every single day. Not every other day, not once a week, not once a month, every single day it became a ritual. Next thing is I'm consistently predicting my future. So how that works is when I get on a training like this, I get on a call with a prospect or a customer, I'm going to do some kind of action. I jump on a plane. I'm predicting what I want my future to look like, the results of that immediate future. It's amazing what happens when you're constantly feeding your mind and moving in the direction of predicting your future. So for example, I got on before here, I'm going to have the most incredible training here today. The right people today, it will resonate with them and it'll explode their business over the next year. We are changing lives right now. It's going to be a defining moment. Think about that self-talk and predicting my future compared to, I hope we're going to have a jam-packed meeting. I hope someone's going to take off from here. I hope we're going to develop a leader here. Where does the strength come from? Predicting my future. I jump on a plane. I'm thanking God for the safe flight before it takes off. I get in my car. I thank God for the safe drive. I'm constantly predicting my future in every segment of my day. So what has happened to me over the years by doing this is I've seen results come just by me predicting my future. Most people would say it was coincidences. Like I've had crazy miracles happen to me, and I always can trace back the pieces of the puzzle where, oh my God, I predicted my future and this is what happened. You know what it does to your self-esteem? You know what it does to your confidence? That, we are truly guided, but most people are never using that guidance to the most remarkable power. But when you predict your future, I can predict your future. When you predict your future, I can predict your future, where you're going to be a huge success and you're going to reach all your dreams here within NHG Global. Next step is the Arigato principle. I learned this numerous years ago from a Japanese sensei. I think he was a karate champion. And one of my neighbors, who's the Canadian, he's Japanese. He's a well-known Japanese karate principal, a karate teacher, and actually 3 martial arts disciplines. And now he won a world championship 10 years ago, 3 years in a row. This guy's incredible. It's great to have him as a neighbor. If we have any problems here, he'll take care of them, And he reminded me, just a conversation we had about a year ago about the Arigato principle. And I said, I use this. And basically what it means is every time you receive money, every time you spend money, you're basically saying arigato, or thank you, God, or whoever you want to thank. By using gratitude when it comes around money. So two issues that we have in this world and we have in this business. Number one, what I'm talking about is self-esteem. People don't believe in themselves. They struggle with self-esteem. And the second thing is struggle with money. You know, we're seeing a lot of pain in the world right now, and there's more pain to come, ladies and gentlemen, over the next couple of years as interest rates have grown. You know, people when mortgages are becoming due, especially here in North America, and people don't having the cash to pay for the extra interest rates now. You know, it's the next 2 years is going to be a lot of pain. It's good news for us. More people are going to be looking for a way to earn extra income, to earn career income, to get out of that financial struggle. Our relationship with money really sucks on a global basis. Most people have a huge, poor relationship with money. But by me, and I was no different. You know, I grew up with Portuguese immigrants. My parents came here in the early 60s before I was born. They were working 2 full-time jobs, and they had a cleaning business. I started working at the age of 7, helping them clean the business. Everything was, you know, they built a great middle-class life through hard work. The opportunity was here in Canada, like it is in the United States and the Western world, and they went through hard work, but money was always at the forefront. You know, we got everything that we needed growing up, but my dad always had that fear that he was going to go back to poverty. So he worked even harder. He did whatever it took to provide for his family because the relationship with money, he didn't have the tools because he grew up very poor on a farm. He didn't even have shoes till he was 18 years old. Can you believe that? And so that relationship with money, and obviously when you grow up and most people are, you know, have their stories, that programming about money gets deep into our subconscious mind. You know, Dan Cattle, his dad, basically, you know, really famous minister in Canada, won the Order of Canada, well known globally for his charity work, and gave his life to help people around the globe. You know, Dan grew up in his first 5 years in Kenya, and then went to northern Canada to work with the Indians, the native people. And you think, and Dan's dad just raised money all his life. Think about the money paradigm that Dan grew up with. You know, where his dad was always asking for money and people for his charities and stuff like that. So our relationship with money. So as soon as I started using the arigato principle, it moved me closer to where money lives. When you give gratitude by receiving money and sending out money, and you say thank you, God, or arigato, God, incredible energy around money starts to uplift you, where you increase your self-esteem, where you increase, because the more you do well, especially for men, you know, one of the main reasons men struggle with alcoholic dependency or drugs as they get older is because men's whole self-esteem is based on how well they take care of their family financially. And if they struggle in that area, they do a poor job in the area, you know, men tend to abuse those things. So by using this energy of thanking when you receive money and accepting money, it'll grow your abundance and prosperity. It'll help you with your self-esteem. Again, these are just pieces of the puzzle that's I started to see over the years that created miracles in my life, to the point where, you know, I just started, okay, this is one piece of the puzzle. I'm doing this ritual every single day. Look what's happening. Oh my God, I'm great. I'm fantastic. And my self-esteem continued to grow, and my confidence continued to grow to the point where I got massive results. Next ritual that I do is at night. So before we go to bed at night, the time between we go to bed and we fall asleep is what we call the theta level. The theta level is when we were in our mother's womb till about the age of 7, our brains were in the theta level. This is where we're mostly programmed, and our subconscious mind is in that programming mode. So this is why all the programming, majority of that you have right now around money, spiritual, family relationships, religions and everything around that was mostly programmed when you were in that theta level until about the age of 7. Okay, so when you fall asleep, just about when you fall asleep, that's when your mind is in the theta level. So you always have to be very careful what you're putting in your mind at that moment, because you're going to sleep 6, 7, 8 hours with that playing in your subconscious mind. This is why it's so important before you fall asleep that you don't watch news, or you don't go online and start reading a negative news or toxicity, or you go on social media, which is a toxic cesspool of junk. Like I don't even go on Twitter anymore, whatever it's called, the X, because it's or read comments of people in feeds anymore, because it's so toxic, so incredibly toxic. It's damaging. The weeds will control us. So before you fall asleep, what you want to do, what I've done is I visualize my dream. I say affirmations about my dream 10 times, and I tap my stomach 10 times. So the money chakra is in your belly button area. Most people who have digestion problems, and of course they're not using our probiotics or Twin Slim or our pro, post, and prebiotic formula, they're going to have digestion issues, stomach issues. This is where the money chakra lives. So I'm tapping my stomach as I share these affirmations, and I'm visualizing my dream, and then I fall asleep. Think about what that happens to me over that next 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. My mind is growing this beautiful prosperity and abundance. So these are the rituals that I've done every single day. I've adjusted them over the years, but again, every single day that I don't even think about it anymore, which has dramatically increased my self-esteem, my self-worth, my awareness. And again, please keep in mind that this is a project for all of us, because right now, if you're not struggling with self-esteem, you're not where you want to be, or you're fooling yourself, you're having issues with your own self-esteem, what you can accomplish. And it happens to the best of us. Even the top performers in the world will go to a time where they stop doing those rituals and things are going bad, and they're failing all the time, and their mind starts to go down a path. And I can probably trace it back to they're not doing those things that they're supposed to do on a daily basis that got them where they needed to go. So that leads me to the last thing, is nothing helps your self-esteem more than ever by consistently doing the basics, sharing the product and sharing the business. And without the basics and doing those one-on-ones, and no matter what you're doing, your self-esteem will hurt, because you're not doing the things that you need to do to advance you in the business. So it's so important to consistently remain with the basics. It's simple business, sharing the products, sharing the business, sharing the products, sharing the business, teaching people how to do the same thing. Sharing the products, sharing the business, teaching people how to do the same thing. And if you're just doing that on a daily basis, just one a day over the next year, 365 people, and let's say you're 1 out of 10 people enroll in the business, that's 36 new people in your business in 1 year. Do you think your business is going to change over the next year? For sure, 100%. Let's say you teach 4 or 5 people in your team just to do one person each. That's 1,500 100 plus exposures in your business. Do you think your organization is going to grow? Do you think you're going to rank up? Of course you will. Let's take another 5, 10 people, just 10 people to do these rituals every single day. That's 3,000 plus exposures. Where would your business be there? That's how simple this business is. You know, to get to global ambassador, you just need 120 people to get to associate level in 1 month. So sometimes people look at the 900,000 in BV that you have to obtain. It's only 120 associate level members. So when you break it down in pieces, this is why these simple rituals, when you break it down in pieces, it becomes easy to live your life this way. And it just becomes a habit, one day after a time. Those small, simple steps will reach you to the top of any pyramid, of any business, of any exercise routine, whatever your goal or dream is. Those simple disciplines will make it work. How do I know this, guys? It's because it's happened to me. It's happened to me. You know, Margaret and I are celebrating our 35th anniversary next week, actually on Sunday, and we're heading off to Spain where we had our honeymoon in southern Spain. And also I've got a couple of groups there. What better way with our business? A couple of network marketers are wanting to look at our business, and hopefully I'm going to be able to start new teams there. So 35 years of marriage. Yes, we got married very young. But I can attribute one ritual every single day that I've done that has enabled us to have a great accomplishment for 35 years and a great marriage. And it's been such a blessing. It's because I've shared with her my feelings for her every single day. I love you. Think about that. And I've done that to myself too. I love you, Joe. You're the most handsome guy in the world. You're fantastic. You're great. You know, that's the kind of self-talk that I use. Just that one simple discipline over the last 35 years. Sometimes I didn't feel like it. Sometimes I didn't think she deserved it. Sometimes I didn't think I deserved it. But that's just that one simple discipline repeated over time created the results 35 years later. That's how simple life is, guys. Let's not complicate it. And let's not, very simple, share the product, share the business. So Dan, I'm going to turn it back to you. If you have any last minute comments, I think I'm probably done. I could go on for another hour though, or the whole weekend.
Yeah, right up until your anniversary, I'm sure, Joey. All righty. Good job. Great job. Yeah, just in wrapping up here, Joe, what you were saying about the daily rituals is dead on. Those simple disciplines repeated over time will bring you to success. Simple error and judgment over time is failure. So for all of us that are on the call now, all of you, take a look now of where you are in your world, in your space. Take a look in the mirror. Take a look at your personal life. Take a look at where you are, what you are. Where you are is a direct result of your daily rituals. What you practice in private, you're rewarded for in public. So if you're overweight, it is the things that you do every day. If you're in great shape, it's those little things that you do every day. If you have this great relationship with your spouse, with your partner, like Joe does, it's what you do every day or what you don't do every day. So going back to where you are in the business, it doesn't matter, again, where you are. It's where you want to go. Take a picture first, the bigger picture of where you want to be, and go to those daily rituals, those daily disciplines. The simple disciplines over time will take you towards your goals, your dreams, and what you want. Simple error and judgment repeated over time will take you out. So we are less than an hour, which is pretty good. And for all of us, it's been a wonderful day, certainly for Joe and I. This is rare where Joe and I will get on to do a call together. It's rare that we're at an event together, but we have a very, very, very special group on here today. And it really has been a pleasure to reach all of you today. So, Joey, congratulations on the big anniversary coming up.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's well,
Then
I think
I have a question for you, and then we can
sure.
answer that, okay? And then
Yep.
actually, it's it just came to me, you know. So no one knows your story more than I do, I guess. Robin
Yeah,
is
you've heard it. You've heard
probably
it a lot.
right? I've heard
Yeah,
it thousands of times.
sure.
So, guys, for those of you who don't know Dan's story, before he got started in this industry, he lost his business, went bankrupt, went back in with his parents, moved back in his parents because his wife at the time, his first wife, left him. And he
Hmm.
got very sick with Crohn's and colitis and ended up in the hospital, which is a horrible disease,
Yep.
disease that his grandmother died of.
Yep.
So that's before he got started in the industry. So for someone that had all those horrible things happen to you, how did you get to your vision? Was it because you were rock bottom, or your hunger was always there, and it just the things that happened to you just made the hunger even more? Because
Well,
frankly,
it's it.
frankly,
Yeah.
Dan, frankly, Dan, I haven't seen too many people in the world that's had the same hunger that I've had all these years later. The hunger is what I still have that hunger, and you have that same hunger. I think
Right.
that's where you and I, we didn't have much in common, but that's the one thing that I really resonated with you. That first day I met you in June 23rd, 1993, is I
Right.
connected to your hunger. I could feel it. You were
Right.
oozing with
Right. Right. We're definitely aligned that way. But to answer your question, yeah, I was hungry. I was desperate. They say people will do things out of really two things: inspiration or desperation. Today, a lot of it's inspiration, but I was absolutely desperate. The spring of 1988, um, and it's really about our talk today. It's about the bigger picture, and I was searching. I was searching huge, big time. I needed to get out of where I was. I mean, it was worse than embarrassing. I mean, I did have a good run in the corporate world, for 10 years. I had my own business for two. So it was about 12 years where I was in traditional business, owned my own business, and in the corporate world. But I went through my own, as they say, personal 9/11. This is where everything bottomed out on me within a few months. But the biggest thing that I learned from that and why I ended up there is it was a couple of things. One is I was spending too much time with the wrong people, and I needed to change that. And I did. When I started looking, the good book talks about that: searching you will find, knock and the door will be open unto you. And, I started searching, and I didn't find this industry, this profession, this opportunity right away. I knocked on a lot of doors. A lot of them were the traditional doors than where I came from. Traditional business. But it was not happening in traditional business. I had lost all faith in the corporate world. I couldn't afford to go back into business for myself. I was massively, this is in 88. This is like 35 years ago. I was massively six figures in debt, living with my parents. I could not start my own business. So that's why when I saw this profession and understanding, like I didn't see it at first. I didn't see it right away. But when I got under the hood, lifted the veil of this, and I saw how big it was. It's a whole premise of this talk today, and I'm not sharing with this, is understanding what we had. I did not take it for granted. Today, I don't take it for granted. Yesterday, I was in the car. My wife and I were going for a drive. We had to pick up some stuff. because I couldn't order it online because you know how tech savvy I am. But bottom line, I realized, and I said, honey, can you believe this traffic here? But then I recognized that 95% of this world, that 99%, 98% of this world is not involved in our profession. I mean, that's a given worldwide. I think in North America, it's around 92, 93%. But most of the herd that's out there, most of the masses that are out there have to get up at 5 or 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, 5, 6 days a week. And I remember that 10 years ago when I got started off in this industry. For 10 years, I got up when it was dark. I got home when it was dark in the corporate world. I worked weekends. I was always working in my 20s. It was nuts. This industry, I will never, ever, ever take for granted what we have here. And you can sit at the table of success for too long. And that's, the table of comfort. And don't let comfort get in the way of your calling. Don't let comfort ever get in the way of your calling. So I recognize that. And you and I continue to have that burn inside us because we want to continue to grow and to serve. And when you're growing in your giving, when you're growing in your giving, and you have gratitude, for what we have, yes, you can continue to go forward and really be fulfilled in our journey here. So, for all of us that are on this call here today, you've got 3 exotic locations in front of you. You're either going to Paris, you're going to Madeiras, you're going to Machu Picchu. And Joey and I have been to all 3. I lived in Africa for 5 years. Joey was in Machu Picchu. We've both been to Paris. Joe's been to Paris more times than me, I think. You have family there, but I've been there multiple times. Gang, there is so much in front of us. There's such an opportunity in front of us. Don't ever take it for granted. And don't ever forget this big, big, beautiful picture that we have in front of us.
Great way to end, Dano. Thanks everyone for jumping on. Again, we are 100% committed to all of you. Anything that we can do to help advance your business, get back to the basics. We're just one phone call away and one text message away. God bless to all of you. Have an incredible day or evening wherever you are in the world. Take care. Thanks, Dan.
See you all in Paris. Ciao, ciao, Madeiras, and Machu Picchu.